can't believe this. When I first heard about this nomination, we laughed loudly. It must be a joke. How can you defeat Snowden? But thank you very much, all of you, for your love, affection, and vote. We have won. I'm remembering a Bollywood film called Diwar. When you're talking about India, you can't escape Bollywood. And you must have heard of Amitabh Bachchan. He was not a very nice character in that film, and he had everything, all the resources of the world. And his younger brother, who was very honest, upright, had nothing, but the dialogue of that film was, "You have everything, but I have mother." Their mother lived with younger brother. So no, I'm not saying who is doing right or wrong, but we Indians have the numbers. So jokes apart, I think it is unfair to get votes only on internet. Trust me, next time when there is a public vote, we should not restrict it only to the people who have internet. And that's where our story is. In India, we have 1.3 billion people and only 7% people on internet, which you call digital world. And in the area where I work, that number goes down to 0.7%. But people, those who are on mobile phone, that number is more than 70%. And whenever there is a vote next time, if you allow people to vote through mobile phone, no Edward Snowden in the world can win. And that's what we are trying to do in India, that so far journalism, or the way we communicate, the mass communication, is controlled by very small number of people like me. If you look at politics world over, in the last century, more or less, we have moved from that aristocratic model where small number of people decided what is good for us. The time has come. We need to hear people. We need to hear the last person, as we do in democracy. I may be the richest person, I may be the poorest person. We all have equal vote in democracy. If we want a better future, if we want a peaceful tomorrow, like politics is everybody's business, we cannot leave journalism, we cannot afford to leave journalism in the hands of few like us. And that's what we are trying to do in India. It's no rocket science. All of us have voice, and all of us have a new tool. It's not very new. What is that tool? It's mobile phone. If we use this technology, new and old technologies, in a bit of creative way, we can create democracy or a communication platform which gives equal voice, equal space to everyone. So what we have done is, everybody has mobile phone. We have put a computer in the middle, or internet in the middle. And the only innovation we have done is link that internet or computer with a phone. So the women you saw on the pictures, whose voices were never heard because they speak a language which we do not understand. They live in far-off places where we journalists cannot go every day. The power is with us, not with them. So their stories were never heard. I grew up in central India, where we are in the middle of a bloody war between Indian security forces, and we call them Maoist guerrillas. Our Prime Minister called them the biggest internal security threat, the biggest terrorists. I grew up with them. I studied with them. They're nice people. My journalism, I worked with world's best organizations, Guardian and BBC. I never understood what happened. They were nice backbenchers in my school. How did they turn themselves into this quote unquote, we call them? They have simple problems which we never heard, which we never allowed them to speak because the power was with us. Companies like Google, technologies like internet, technologies like mobile phone gives us an opportunity. What we did with politics in last century, we need to do with journalism today. We need to democratize it. And we need your help. We have linked mobile phone with internet, and we are very pleased with its outcome. That communication is solving problems. It's not solving big problem, it's solving small problems. And what we understand is lots of small problems, when they get accumulated over the years, that is what makes bigger problems, like the one I talked about, India's biggest internal security threat. If you send more power, more forces to solve this problem, you actually make things worse. So which power was that one? What I need your help here is to take this experiment to its logical conclusion. There is a third technology which will help us create a truly democratic, participative communication platform in India, and that's an old technology called radio. I don't know how many of you know that India is world's biggest democracy, that much you know. But we don't allow any radio in India. All these technologies have their strength, have their weakness. Like internet is great, but internet has no reach. It has reached very small number of people in India. Mobile has reached lots of people, but it's only a personal communication tool. In a similar way, radio has its strength, but India does not allow any radio in the whole nation. Legally, you can't do it.
Was it them?
So we are looking for help from you, who will help us get some space in any of shortwave transmitters. It will be a different kind of radio where people who have the story, who has something to say, it will be a journalism of concern, not journalism what I do, which is journalism of vested interest. They will tell their own stories in their own languages, using this small machine called mobile phone. There will be people in the internet, in the middle. You call them journalists, you call them moderators. They will cross-check, verify, translate, and the story will go back to the people with the help of shortwave radio. What we need is use these technologies in a creative way so that we have a communication which solves problems. We have given information, too much information, but if we need a peaceful tomorrow, if we need a better future, we need to be more creative with the way we communicate. Thank you very, very much for giving me this space here to talk today.